Chuck, was that you with the over-under? It's gotta be. There's no question. I want this understood. Somehow I got in this Hall of Fame and I was last, all right? So, you know, I feel for everybody. I think it was age discrimination at the time, but I can't prove it. There's an organization called Maccabee USA. It's an organization that builds Jewish pride through sports and promotes support for Israel and Jewish continuity through athletic, educational, and cultural experiences for participants of all ages. Our next honoree, Lou Moyerman, is a major part of that organization. Lou is a 1969 graduate of Overbrook High School, a 1973 graduate of Temple. He got his master's in '77 from Temple, and he started a career in education, first at Bartram High School, then Furness, and then at Fells High School. At Furness, he took their athletic program as athletic director to all varsity sports. And his team started a holiday food drive every year at Christmas in the area, and for that they received the Spirit of Philadelphia Award. Lou's expertise was in the field of judo. He won his first judo medal in 1966. His initial breakthrough came through in the early 70s as a member of the Temple University Judo Club. At the Eastern Collegiates, Lou won his junior year, finished second his senior year, losing only one match. But the Temple team was coached by Lou, who was also on the team. He was a student coach. They placed third and then first in his senior year. He earned All-American honors for 3 consecutive years. He finished his collegiate career selected as the Eastern Collegiate Judo Association Coach of the Year as Temple won its second team title. He founded the nonprofit Liberty Bell Judo Club in 1988 and then launched the Liberty Bell Judo Classic, one of the most prestigious and largest competitions in the United States. He continued to compete while he was coaching and manager and team leader for USA Judo, winning numerous Masters titles and a bronze medal in the 1999 World Masters. His students, including his daughter Stephanie and son Adam, competed in the U.S. and throughout the world. He's coached world champions, Pan Am champions, junior world champions, you know, et cetera, and he was a team leader for the 2000 Sydney Olympic judo team from the United States. In 2022, USA Judo promoted Lou to an 8th degree black belt, which means don't screw around with Lou. In the summer of '81, as captain of the USA Judo delegation in the 11th Maccabee Games in Israel, Lou led the team to a gold medal. He had coached judo teams, became a member of organizing committees for future games, and continues to do so today. He was inducted in the 2004 Philadelphia Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. He was the U.S. team manager for 7 Maccabee and Maccabee Games. And from 2018 to 22, he was general chairman of Team USA and took a delegation of over 1,300 people to the 2022 Maccabee Games. He's proud of his marriage to his wife of 48 years, Kinford. There are 4 children, Sam, Tina, Stephanie, and Adam, all Central High grads, and his grandsons, Arthur, Harry, and Jack, and his granddaughters, Anna and Adira, who have him wrapped around his finger. I present to you Lou Moyerman.
So I saw a couple people, they wrote their speeches and stuff on their phone. My age, no way. I gotta remember I had glasses and I wrote the speech, whatever, here. I said, I can't do this on my phone, I'll never be able to see it. So give me a second, put my glasses on first. Little different twist at the beginning. A friend of mine here had his 80th birthday yesterday, Emil. Happy birthday. His wife is an international judo referee. We've been friends for over 50 years. So again, like everybody did, congratulations. It's an honor to be with all you and go in this Hall of Fame with everybody. It's very special. I want to thank the committee for two reasons. One, you chose me. The second, I got a new suit yesterday. And boy, that was tough. My wife dragged me out and, I have a lot of judo friends here and a lot of Maccabi friends here. I want to thank them all for coming. There is a lot of black belts sitting over in that corner over there. And they've been with me for a long time. We practice together, we train together. We're a community together like all sports are. So thank you all for coming. And thank you for being here. And my Maccabi people there, and they're intertwined. A lot of them, and my school district friends that came tonight. Thank you very much. Thank my family. You heard I have 4 children. They're special, but I have cousins here. We don't have a big family left. So my 3 cousins that are here, thank you for being here. I'm thanking my grandkids, because you have to thank your grandkids because they're the most important people in the world. And they're young, and it was just a little bit too much for them to be here tonight, but I want them to know that I thank you. My children, you heard about, they're all Central grads. They're all in sports. They've all very successful, and they make me very proud, and I could talk about them for a long time, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I have my sister-in-laws here. There's 8 of them in the family. 1 boy, my brother-in-law, he's not here, but if you want to Google him, he won the 1985 NCAA Girls Soccer Championship at George Mason University. So it's a sports-minded family, as I mentioned. What can I say? My wife is here. Without her, I don't think I'd stand up here now. She put up with all the traveling and the judo and the aches and the pains and the complaints. And I don't want to say this, but she listens to me with all the Maccabi calls I have and all the things we do there. It's really hard to keep 1,000 Jewish people happy. So she has to listen to all that all the time too. But we have been married 48 years. Before we got married, we both at Temple. My wife was a cheerleader there, and I asked her out, and she finally said yes. And how do you feel back on the West Point? She said, oh, I like people in uniforms. So we had a judo meet at West Point. So when I impress this young lady I really like, and I take her up to West Point, I go out on the mat and I kick butt. I'm wiping out the West Point cadets. She told me like 4 years later when I got up to fight, she walked out of the room, she was too nervous. So, Ed, you're 63. I got 10 years on you. And if you know your grandchildren, they always say, how old are you? Oh, I'm 5.5. So I'm 73, 1 month, and 4 days. That's for my grandkids. But I've been born and raised in this city. I grew up in Winfield in West Philly. I went to Santa Pompers. I went to Bieber, lived in front of Bieber, went to Overbrook, as you heard, went to Temple, and I've always been in this city. And to receive this honor to the city that I love, and I think is a great city, is very, very special to me. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to tell you a little saying that I know somebody. I don't know if you'll know who said this. You can shout it out if you want, except for my family, because they know this saying is very important. This person said this many years ago. He is not with us anymore. Big time athlete. A life is not important except in the impact it has on others' lives. Anybody know who said that? I'll give you a hint if you don't know. In 4 days, everybody in baseball will be wearing his number and playing a game. So it's Jackie Robinson. I take that statement that he says, so important. I thought about like when Doug McCauley called me and said, you're going in the Hall of Fame. I said, what for? He says, for all the things you do. I said, well, everybody does things. But what's important to me is that statement. What have I done in my life for other people? I'm going to talk about 2 people in a minute. And for me, if these 2 people are doubled, tripled, and whatever, because I've coached for so many years judo, and I coached in the public league, which anybody here that's a public leaguer knows that's not easy to do, okay? I was an athletic director, all kinds of different jobs. But what did I do for other people that would make you put me in the Hall of Fame. That's how I look at it. So I hope when I talk about these two people, you understand that I'm very proud of them, and I think because of them and my other students, that's why I deserve this award. So I'm a little tough. So Dan was about 6 or 8 years old when he started judo with me. He and his sister. He's here tonight, by the way. He has no idea I'm talking about him until now. Okay. His brother is also here, Fred. He's a member of our judo club and a black belt too. I told you I'd get even with you, Dan. So Dan was a very good athlete. He was a great student, very intelligent, very smart. You didn't have to holler at him on the mat like some of my knuckleheads I had over the years. And he progressed in judo. He started competing on a local level. When he was in high school, took him to the high school national championships where he did very well, as with his sister went then. She then stopped judo after that. He continued and he went away to college. And he did judo in Buffalo and Ohio State. And he stayed in the sport. When he came back home, came back to Liberty Bell, his home dojo, home school. And he then got into coaching and teaching classes with me. He traveled to Sweden with a couple of international judo teams and coached there, which one my son was on and one my daughter was on. He and my daughter are very close. By the way, Dan's grandmother and my mother were best friends, and we lived 3 doors away from each other. So we have a 3 or 4 generation family here between the Kurtz family and the Moyerman family. Dan also coached twice in the Maccabean Games in Israel. And to coach there is a great honor to coach for your country, to participate. He competed in the Masters Division, won a bronze medal once. And he's continued what happened one time in 2013. He had just got a new job, and the job was with Maccabi USA. I had to argue with the CEO because I needed him. I was a team delegation manager. That meant I took care of 1,000 people, all the different sports, all the different ages. And I asked to have Dan as my assistant and my team manager with me. And they did. And to this day, I always thank Dan because he kept my sanity. We would be in the same suite together, and every day we decompress and talk and what was going on and who bothered him and who needed this and who needed that. So now Dan is very involved in Maccabi USA with the education and cultural program and the athletic side of it as well. And to me, he is one of the 2 people that I talk about tonight that makes me feel like I did the right thing as a coach, as a teacher, and saw him grow up his whole life. So Dan, put your hand up and say, that's Dan right there in the corner. And he ties me in to my judo with Maccabi. The next person I'm going to talk to is going to tie school district into judo and life. And I invited the young man to come tonight. He didn't know that I was going to talk about him either. I taught at Phil's High School for the last 16 years of my career, if you want to call it a career, or whatever it is. And I coached baseball there, coached JV girls basketball once. Wasn't too good at it, but I tried. Look at the basketball player, I could have used a lot of help. You can't throw people down on a basketball court, you know, from judo. That doesn't work too well. But Sion was a soccer player, and in my role as athletic director, I watched him play many times. He was a really good athlete. 6'1", 180 pounds, could run, and he could run forever. And one day he came in the gym and he said to me, Mr. Moyerman. I said, yes. He said, who are you? Because I didn't know my name then, I didn't have him in class. He said, I'm Sion, you know who I am. I said, yes. He said, I want to learn judo. And I never told many people when I was in school that I did judo. It was my secret, you know. And he found out. I said, well, why do you want to learn judo? He says, it's really cool. I want to throw people. I said, okay. So I said, I'll make you a deal, Sion. In 2 weeks, we have our Liberty Bell Judo Classic, which at that time, about 750 people came to compete. I need help that weekend. Moving mats, doing this, doing that. You come for the weekend, I'll teach you judo. But you have to be able to either get to our judo club, or we have to figure out how to get you there and home. And your mother has to let me know it's okay for you to come, because he was in high school at the time. So he came. I was shocked. I said, well, he's not going to show up. I won't have to worry about teaching him judo. He came the whole weekend. He worked, and he watched the judo, and he salivated. I could see it in him. This is what I really want to do. So after it was over, he came, started taking judo lessons at our club. in Northeast Philly. We figured out how to get him there, how to get him home. And as he progressed, we put him in tournaments. Well, what an athlete. He was winning like crazy. In the lower level, we had to get promoted. Promote him there, promote him again. Keep moving him up. We took him to Pittsburgh once. It was a state championship. He won the state championship. But more than that, I think it was the first time he ever was out of Philadelphia. And I thought, wow, that's so shocking to me. And he said to me, this was a great trip, Mr. Moyerman. I kept telling him, outside of school, he called me Lou or Coach, but he never did. He always called me Mr. Moyerman. He said, well, I really had a great time. This was so, we opened the whole world up for Sion. A world now existed for him to become a better athlete, a better person, to understand where he could go. It's a shame he wasn't a US citizen at the time, because we couldn't take him to national championships at the time. He would have won those too. He kept progressing. He kept coming, and one day we gave him his black belt. That's a true deep honor in judo to get a black belt. But it's also the beginning of judo. Like, that's when you start learning. If you saw the paper about 2 weeks ago on the front of the city section, it was all about Dawkins, and he gave grants to single female parents for the kids to do things. If you saw that, the picture was Sion in his judo club with 2 of his students. I was so proud to see that picture. He has his own club. He's a gentleman. His wife is a black belt in karate. Oh, by the way, my brother's a black belt in karate. I won't forget my brother that's here tonight. He'll beat me up or something. He's a little younger than me. That's the only reason he'll survive. But Sion Smith is a really class person that came through hard times publicly and made something for himself. And if this plaque you're giving me is from Danny and Sion and all my students, thank you very much.